On this question, we have a couple of problems about trigonometric equation, one with the cosine, one with sine. Right. So whether it's cosine or sine, we just need to get that function by itself first. So I will add square root of 3 on both sides. And then divide by 2. So we should have cosine theta square 3 over 2. And then we just find theta. Now let's just take a look at the unit circle real quick. Cosine is associated to the x values. So we have x is about square 3 over 2. So that's more than 1/2. So we're going to have this point. Square 3 over 2 is that point. Then we have an angle here. So that will be 30, 60, 90 degree right triangle here. So theta can be equal to, that would be pi over 6. And then we will have another angle here. Because when we go around, we get back to this point where we have the same x values. So if this is pi over 6, this is negative pi over 6. And we take 2 pi away from it. So we say all theta could be equal to, I would do 2 pi, the whole revolution minus the pi over 6. And that gives us 12 pi over 6 minus 1, so it will be 11 pi over 6. And those are the two solutions within 0 and 2 pi. So that's the first one. The second one is where we have 4 sine of theta minus pi over 3 plus 2 equal to 0. So first we will get the sine function by itself, and then we find the angle. So we minus 2 on both sides. And then we divide by 4. And sine of theta minus pi over 3 is negative 1/2. And again we draw the little unit circle. The sine function is associated to the y values, so negative 1/2, kind of halfway there. Right. And for that we're going to have two values here that have the same y values of negative 1/2. And if we go from 0, then we will go all the way to here. That's the first values. And the second values is in this direction. Right. Now, if this is 1/2, then this is going to be pi over 6. Pi over 6 is this angle here, plus a pi, we have 7 pi over 6. Pi over 6, that first angle here. And if we go a little more to this point, to this terminal ray, they also have the same y values. So Notice that if that is pi over 6, that little angle here, and so this angle would be 11 pi over 6. I mean, this also pi over 6, and the red angle is 11 pi over 6. And then to solve for theta, we just add pi over 3 on both sides. So theta 7 pi over 6 plus pi over 3. If we use the calculator, then we pretty much ignore the pi, and we just add the numbers, and then we put the pi back to it. And by that I mean we have 7 over 6 plus 1 over 3. Just ignore the pi. We have 1.5 can turn to fraction. That will be 3 pi over 2. Next we have 11 over 6. And we're going to add pi over 3 both sides. And we have 13 over 6 pi. I said we just stick a pi to it. The only problem here is the theta has to be between 0 and 2 pi, and this is way more than that. So what we do is we have to subtract 2 pi from it, because that is more than 2 pi. When we subtract 2 pi from it, we just have pi over 6. So that is the answer, 3 pi over 2, then pi over 6. And notice that the cosine, we have the same cosine, we use the x values, and sine we use the y values. And when we use the calculator, we just add the numbers and then put the pi there at the end.